Jammeh No Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jammeh No, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jammeh No Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruceby opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jammehnomt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jammeh No Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jammeh No Money Transfer.
Agada
ke mbijan aganya
albaka
mbaka important
yo nga transfer la sto
ya transfer la
ha code nyinji
okay for sana nsila id soto
sa soto sorry agada
mbijan bro
albaka
mbaka
bara alla service o tariya
bare
mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariya
janno mi yona forest de bureau gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere birin koyna fo kato
bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolon labe
56 branches mola soto gambia jam
ha
gambia kono ani gambia bantala bankol nko kodo kiya bele kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw jannom number 1 ti nyonta andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale wolam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale de dadi man domorol dir fana beteat gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je
wo moyo diat
apelenta
baraka ni na lafta nyelan kendol e bina
yalo bu kanila ko la baraka ba
yalo ndel chosano lo
baraka.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Hello and welcome to the brunch on Kerfatu Live. This is our weekly look at current affairs. I'm Lamin Cham. Now, don't worry, I've just been having my brunch and I still continue to have it. This week, I welcomed Mr. Foday Chorr, a member of the Gambia diaspora and, importantly, a member of the APRC No To Alliance. Some people call the group APRC Babili Mansa. Whatever the case, it is the faction of the party which is still loyal to former President Yaya Jammeh. In this program today, we will be talking about the party and Foday's own individual perspectives on things that have happened in the Gambia, mainly from the political front as well as other pertinent issues. Mr. Chorr, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Lamin. Thank you for inviting me.
How is little old England when you were living?
As usual, water, raining all the time.
Yeah.
I've just spoken to my wife and she said it didn't stop raining since he came back because she was here with me. Yeah.
Good.
It's obvious, but they're expecting a bit of sunlight today.
Yeah. You know that they often tell politicians are as changing as the English weather.
The description can be fitting to some politicians.
Oh, all right.
I think so.
Good.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Thank you.
Good. Let me begin by asking you, yes, the APRC No To Coalition at the moment, how is the state of affairs in the party? Recently when I heard anything from there was the apparent usual sweeping or flexing of Jammeh's acts, dismissing or expelling certain people from the party, which he often regularly do. So we must as well start with that. Who were the latest people he sacked from the party?
Thank you very much, Mr. Cham. I don't want to take that description of usual sweeping or sacking. Yeah, I don't want to take that. I know, swinging the axe.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to agree that it's usual. Sometimes it is necessary when action has to be taken. But as far as I'm concerned, it is not as serious as people thought. Some of the things that happen is reshuffling or relieving people from their position.
Yeah.
Because people do not wait to get the authentic information to pass it, and they start saying XYZ has been expelled from the party. So we need to wait, and actually I think very soon the Secretary General will come out with a full list, and this will be followed with a press release to explain this.
When you said Secretary General, you mean Jammeh?
No, actually that's another thing I need to explain.
Yeah, because mostly party Secretary General are the leaders.
Yeah, in that I mean the Administrative Secretary, that is Honorable Matar Kujabi.
Okay.
In the APRC, we don't have the leader to be the Secretary General of the party. What we have there is a party leader and chairman.
Yeah.
And then we have a Secretary General and an Administrative Secretary. So
at the moment now, who is the leader or interim or permanent in the Gambia of the party?
We don't call it interim anymore. Probably that was an oversight on both parties. There is nothing like an interim party leader, prescribed in the constitution.
So it's just a party leader?
Yeah, we have a party leader, a first deputy and a second deputy party.
So the first deputy is the one in second command?
Yeah.
Who is that now?
It's called Modu Yafai Tamba from Sinte.
Oh, Modu Yafai Tamba.
Yeah, Modu Yafai Tamba is a seasoned administrator.
Yeah,
he just retired as an agriculturalist. Yeah.
Okay. I know you are not Yaya Tamba, but you were an insider all along. Maybe you might not have served in any executive, but you have been an integral member of the group. Why? People are wondering, why do Jammeh keep changing them frequently? Yaya Tamba was particularly very loyal and seemed to be very, effective in guiding the party during those crises. He was the one who led the party into alliance with first Ganu of Sektijan Haidara and then later Mama Kande. He was seen to be very effective, but all of a sudden we heard that he's been expelled or whatever, removed from the position.
No, he's not expelled. At the moment, as far as I know, I saw a letter of resignation from him.
Okay.
And the letter of resignation has been accepted by President Jammeh.
From his position or from the party itself?
From the party, he said.
Oh, he now has nothing to do with the party?
Yeah, that's what he said. Okay. And I don't want to speak for him because I don't know why he decided to take that action. It will be best to ask him why he did that action. Okay. Yes, I want to also say this. He did well, but he cannot do it alone. He did it with a team.
Yeah.
And Gambians are afraid of change. That's the problem with Gambians.
Okay.
And where there is change, there are going to be issues because people are interrelated. So when the change affects you, it seems to affect the people that are behind you. Mr. Yaya Jammeh, I will always say this. He did his utmost best.
Yeah.
But he's a human being.
At a time when the your group was in crisis.
He did his best.
Yeah.
He did what he can do. And but when the constitution has mandated somebody to appoint you, it's the same person who got the powers to change. And if he decide to relieve you of your responsibilities and give it to somebody else, I don't think there's anything that we can say. But there must be a good reason why he did it. But as far as I'm concerned, all I want to say, once more, I'll have to say to Mr. Tamba, thank you very much for his time. That's all. But at the moment, I don't want to go far because he has disassociated himself from the party. Yeah.
Okay.
And he didn't say no to alliance. He said from APRC. So which means he's not APRC at all now.
Okay. Yeah. But as far as your group is concerned, you recognize only one APRC, and that's yours.
It depends on the interpretation of the people or their perception about it.
Jammeh himself never even recognized Fabakary Tombong's side. He doesn't even mention them as APRC. He said there is only one APRC, which is your group.
Yeah.
So I should think if Tamba said he's out of APRC, he means he's your group.
Yeah. Even
or does he now want to believe that there's recognizing Fabakary's group?
Who do you think? Well, I don't know. Like I said,
he don't say APRC.
No, he said he left APRC. Okay. I don't want to talk about him, to be honest. I have given him that respect.
Okay.
He left the party, and I think we should give him that respect.
So at the moment, where does the party stand in terms of its relationship with the Fabakary section? There have been talks and speculations that there might be some movements to get both sides together, because many people felt that APRC is missing a big opportunity. It's a very big party. In fact, arguably they call themselves the largest, but then, yes, everybody recognized their strength, especially immediately after the coming to power of the coalition governments. The APRC was able to come together, flexed its muscle, and people were panicked. Say, wait, you know what?
Where are all these people from?
Yes.
Those are the days when they said they are from Kasama.
Yeah, you know what? Come on, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden,
yeah,
as if somebody has put a wedge between you, the group split. And many people felt that it's quite regrettable that you are all now at 6s and 7s because you are disunited. So when there are talks now of a possible union, how is your group seeing this? Is there a possibility?
Lamin, let me make this point clear. Let's understand that there's only one APRC. That is my perception. I'm speaking.
And which one is that? If you ask Fabakary, you say that's his faction.
Yeah, if you allow me.
Ask you say your faction.
Yeah, if you allow me, I'll explain.
Explain, yes.
APRC was set up in 1996. I mean, in 1996 up to 2016, APRC is one, and continue to be one after 2016. I mean, we went to a point when we were asked to empower Barrow. This is where the split came. Division of opinion, different opinion. I personally didn't wait for anybody to tell me to join or not to join. I told the then executive very clear that I trusted you. But me, Foday Chorr, I don't think I trust the man. I don't trust the man that you're going to join. Because I've seen a lot of issues that happen, a lot of agreements that were broken. So I think, who are we for us to think that he's going to fulfill those promises that you are telling me that he said he will do? And so I decided from that, I am not going. But if we are to go into an alliance or a coalition with them at the time, we have to put down everything on paper and sign. But when they went and discussed, what actually broke the camel's back is when they had a conference and said, they are not going to share the content of the agreement to anybody, not even to the journalists.
They said that.
Not
yes.
to the people.
Yes.
So I felt at that point, I am being carried into something I don't know. I want to see what is agreed, what is signed, who signed what, where was it signed, when was it signed. And eventually I came out to be proven right, because I've got some members of executive, the then executive, saying they didn't even see what was signed. And there was a member of the NPP who said APRC and NPP signed nothing. So everything was verbal. Going into an alliance, it was not formal. It's an informal alliance. Up to date, it's an informal one. If you go to the IEC and ask their records, all that you see there is NPP nominated President Barrow as their candidate. The others are just set outside the circle. You will not find any alliance signing to say we have signed Adama as
Maybe the IC will not be told that. That's in between them.
No, but then that's why I said it's informal. It's not formal. It should be officially done.
So you mean the problem that led to the split started when there was a disagreement as to whether to join Barrow
or not. Yeah.
People like you,
Yeah.
and later confirmed by Jammeh,
Yeah.
said no, we do not approve joining Barrow.
Actually, even Jammeh's case is not. It's equally important as any other's decision to join or not to join. But the people on the ground matters.
But the APRC Fabakat
Yeah.
conducted a tour of the provinces. I saw them.
Yeah.
And they went all around. I know only a few places in Marrakech or in somewhere in Combo Central.
Marrakech.
They had a problem there because they were told in no uncertain terms that they don't approve.
That's Marrakech.
Yeah, but all other areas, they seem to have...
And when you say Marrakech, are you talking about West Coast?
Yes, that's right.
West Coast is the superpower of the APRC. Not only that, it's a swing area for any candidate to win. I am not saying... No, I'm not saying...
They said all of the areas,
Yeah.
they got a concession from the people that
Yeah.
they can join.
Have you got that on record?
Well, they said they
No, have you got that on record? Have you seen it?
No, they are the ones who said they thought and they were told that they could do it.
But then you are the journalist, you could have asked them to have
That's
it. You have
their
it on record.
advice.
No, they say it. Have you got so...
No, you mean when they were telling them in Bate and other place, we definitely we were not there. They could do this agreement.
Okay.
In camera. And
Okay.
We can only check their work. We saw them going anyway. We saw them.
Yeah, I would still...
Are you saying that when they were told not to do it?
No. Lamin, I think there is a better way to do it rather than doing a quick consultation. You're taking a bigger party, a party that ruled for 20 years, to go to a new party that has not got any foundation at the time. I would have thought the constitution of giving the powers to the executive to call for an extraordinary Congress. At that Congress, there is where they would have got even more mandate to go. Then no one would have questioned their decision. So I think, in my own view, standing there, it's my opinion, that it has been hastily done, roughly done, just to satisfy it or to just formalize. But going to Barrow has already been agreed. It's my view. And no one among them could have convinced me or any other person who was thinking like me to say, no, this is the best way to do it. This is how we should do it. But then at the time, they were the executive. So I cannot say anything. But what I'm trying to say is, to Claire, to say it's one APRC. Because there's only one APRC that has been registered with the IEC. And legally, that is what is going to operate. So we as a party, members of the party, decided to say no. Those of us who said no, decided to stand there. They call us all names. They call us rebel. I will take it, because if you rebel against an idea, you can be labeled as a rebel. They told us breakaway. Yes, we did break away from them because we didn't want to go. Whatever description fitting is, but we are citizens. None of them or none of us has ever been issued a letter or a press release to say those who do not agree to come with Barrow are now expelled from the party. They got nothing to do with the party. Any day that they've done that, we will not use the name of the APRC, or we will not use the emblem of the APRC. We will not use the color of the APRC. Any member in the Yes Alliance is equally important as the one in the No To Alliance. Any of them have got their right as citizens. We've also got our right as citizens. If we think that APRC is our party, we have all right to talk about APRC. We may not agree in opinion going to Barrow, but we are all APRC. What I thought should happen by now is the leadership of the people who are recognized by the IEC and by law. I mean, Fabakari should have written to us or call us to a round table discussion. APRC has got a legacy in this country. APRC has taken the country from a darkness to light. No one can deny that. There are times, yeah, we have our shortcomings, but what APRC done in this country, the legacy should remain.
Okay.
But at the moment,
they should have.
Yes, at the moment, it seems as, NPP are swallowing, little by little, eating APRC. At the end of the day, after 2026, if we continue like that, you will not hear APRC from them. Tell me when. When have you heard that the APRC Yes Alliance or those who empower Barrow have been going on a tour, an executive meeting? The only people that are here making noise or having meetings are the youth sector. And it is very important that we got these two youth sectors together to discuss. Lamin, at my age, I am 60. Fabakar is older than me.
Yes.
Where are we going? Do you have to cling onto the leadership when the young people have to sit down and determine? And the party that they have is APRC. We are depriving them to come as young people and participate in the political dispensation of this country. Do we think we are fair to them? We are not even talking about generation yet unborn.
So are you saying that the initiative was to bring the party together should come from the Fabakar-led executive, and they have not shown any sign of that?
I'm not saying they have not shown any sign. It has to be official. When you ask people to say, let Fabakari write to us, so that they think we meaning literally, he should take a pen and write and sign. He has got Secretary General. He got people. He can assign them to write, even if he's not at the meeting. We will also get our delegation.
But there have been talks that they attempted organizing reconciliation meetings here and there. I've heard that.
Lamin, you are one of the senior journalists in this country. Yeah. People saying, I heard, I hear, I said, they said, he said, that's not the issue.
So they should have written formally to the Babeli Mansai side and said, come on and let's discuss.
Yeah, because the reason why I said this, one, if you go to the IEC, they will tell you they don't recognize any other person apart from Fabakar led APRC. Yeah. And that is also another issue.
Yes.
The IEC should be refereeing between the political parties, either inter-political parties or within the political parties.
Yes.
If there is an issue with the APRC and they are there, to referee, they should have invited both parties to a table to see how this problem can be resolved for a better political dispensation.
As they did with
NCP. As they did with NCP, they did with PPP. Recently there was an issue with PPP.
Of course.
They also the same thing. But why is APRC an exception? We are all preempting. Probably they knew our powerhouse. They knew how much strong we are. So therefore the IEC, they don't care because they knew our division is what better for them, service for them, because...
But why is IEC interested?
MPP.
I see, okay.
MPP is the political party in power.
I see. So you mean the IEC did not take similar steps?
Yeah.
Because your division is to the advantage of the NPP, which is dictating to them.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Definitely. I like that word. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the situation. I would suggest, I would recommend, this is Foday Chorr's view. I'm not talking on behalf of the second deputy party leader or fourth deputy party leader or the spokesperson of the party. I'm not. I'm a member of the APRC and I belong to the group that did not agree to go to Adama Barrow. And that doesn't make me an enemy to His Excellency Adama Barrow. In fact, he is my president at the moment. But my party leader is the ex-president, His Excellency, say Professor Dr. Alhaji Yaya Jammeh.
Okay, now, in the APRC led by Fabakari Tombong, recently, what we had of them in terms of the future of that is that they are again going to talk to the people as they did to see whether they can continue with alliance with the NPP. But so far, the latest meeting that NPP had with its allies, his faction is represented. So it looks like from what we can see, for all intents and purpose, maybe it's premature.
Yeah.
It looks like the APRC of Fabakar is almost certainly going to be in alliance with the NPP. Will that help or hinder any possible reunion between you, the group?
Let me clear this. Fabakar has led APRC making a decision to go and empower or support Barrow again. Their decision, and I cannot speak on their behalf because I don't know what's happening there. But whatever I'm going to say here is going to be assumed or preempt, just like we saw them out there at the State House. Among the alliance, they've mentioned APRC,
Yes.
NRP, and so on.
Yes.
So we will all assume that they've already agreed
Yes.
to go and support Barrow.
Yes.
So this is the fundamental difference between us as a group in the APRC and them, because we still think Barrow could have now stepped down and then somebody else coming in.
Okay, we're coming on.
And the other point also is, we thought as a political party, if we unite again, we can put up a candidate and we have a chance.
Okay.
Yeah, whether it is former President Jammeh coming back or another person coming or somebody being recommended, I think we have a big opportunity. Because if you look at, make an analysis with MPP. Now let's say something happened, NRP out, APRC out, you know, is it ANRD out, GMC out, CA out. That still shows you that, I mean, NPP is not that a powerhouse yet in the political establishment of the country.
So you mean they are relying?
They are relying highly on, yes, the influence of those people. It's not even the number, because there is no statistic or record to prove that the Yes Alliance are greater than the Non-Alliance. The Non-Alliance also haven't got a record to show that. What we are saying, we are just preempting the fact that there is a base that we control, which is the Ponies, and we've also won 5 seats as independents in the name of APRC No To Alliance. We have an edge over them.
So the APRC also won 1 seat in KM.
APRC.
Yeah, the APRC, the member for Joshua, is it not APRC?
Yeah, they won 2.
2 actually.
Yeah.
2.
Just one and yeah. But what would have happened if we were all one APRC? We would have
Just one and Bundu.
Yeah, Bundu.
Yeah.
What would have happened if we were all APRC? It's 7.
Yes, would have been 7.
Exactly, and we will build on that.
But is the problem not you people's obsession with Jammeh? You never want, you prefer, okay, you advocated for change.
Yeah.
But your group never want to come to reality to see that, wait, Yaya Jammeh's time has gone. He has lost an election or whatever happened, he's not in power.
Yeah.
And the parties should have to regroup and move on. People said the problem has to do with the fact that you people are so obsessed with Jammeh, and that's the problem between you and yourself, your APRC, and other people who might be opposed to Jammeh.
Again,
Why would you think that Jammeh is still relevant to your this party?
very relevant. I mean, let's look at PPP. Was Jawara not?
Jawara left the scene.
No. He didn't left the scene just like that.
Okay.
I am one of those people who started my politics in PPP and Moja.
Okay, when Jawara left power.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
You know, he was overthrown, he went to London.
Yeah.
In 2002,
Yeah.
there was an agreement between them and Jammeh.
Yeah.
He came back.
Yeah.
But when he came back, what did he do?
You think he was not advising them behind the scene?
Well, it was
Even the late OJ was telling us that he cannot do anything without going back to him to get advice.
Yeah, but
And that continued until when he could not do it anymore.
But Jawara never
Yeah.
publicly state
Yeah.
any political position of the PPP when he returned.
Yeah.
But
But
never
then,
said it. Even when he was in London, he talked about the country as a whole,
Yeah.
but never addressed issues in PPP. He
no,
thought
but he's been consulted behind the scene.
it-
No, there are two different
Jammeh interfered.
Yeah, you talking about
Publicly denouncing Barrow, denouncing everything, even call him a donkey. Now, how can you help when you are out there interfering and, castigate, even call Barrow a donkey? Fabakar and others said, well,
I want to make. I want to. I'm not.
Just listen. Rightly or wrongly, they said, and they keep saying, they believe Jammeh's fate would have been easier if he had listened to them in the APRC, work out things for him. Even Barrow himself said this.
So you mean
Jammeh's boarding would have been less heavier if he had helped himself.
Yeah. Can I tell? Do you want to tell me that Jammeh's fate is in the hand of Fabakary?
No, he
No. Just tell me yes or no.
in some extent. What I mean by that is that he said that whatever they did with Barrow, whatever agreement, they said that is in the interest of
but not in the interest of the country.
Well, it's just but then Jammeh, we are talking about Jammeh.
No. Okay, Lamin.
Jammeh is a
Allow me to.
Do you believe that when they said that actually if Jammeh had allowed them, they probably would have been able to work out something for him, something better for him?
I cannot say no, that is not true, and I cannot say yes, that is true, because of eventually what happened and what we heard. Do you understand? So I don't know, but I know very well for Fabakary. I mean, he was out, frankly, to see how President Jammeh could come back. What they discussed behind the scene, him and President Jammeh, or with other people,
Barrow.
I don't know. But what I personally discussed with Fabakary, that I can say proudly here, that at the time he used to call me, and I knew what he said. It was a clear consent. But what is happening is completely different. That is the problem. So I don't want to go into that nitty because of trust that he has in me.
Okay.
Yeah. But let's go back to what you said.
Yeah.
Interfering personally into the affairs of the country or interfering personally into the affairs of the party. Lamin, President Jammeh left this country up to more than 5 years. He didn't participate in the political dispensation of the country, the governance of the country, or say anything. Whatever that he was saying it behind the scene with the people he entrusted the party.
That was before the election.
Yes, that was before 2021. Let me learn.
Yeah.
And there was a joint declaration that was made, and it has spelled out what both parties or how they should be behaving towards the political party of Jammeh and also the country at large.
And himself.
And himself as well. Whether that declaration has been honored or not, that's something else. But since then, President Jammeh has not participated or said anything, not even granted anyone an interview. Until 2021.
Yes.
Came 2021, anything that happened was political. He was not participating in the governance of the country. At that time, it was political season. The platform has been opened for every citizen to participate in the political dispensation of the country. It did not verify or say specifically, you have to say something if you are in the Gambia, but not say something when you are outside. All the people who are in the diaspora were also participating. They were saying things. Why is Yaya Jammeh exceptional? Why can't he also participate, even in any means, whether electronically or writing? Why? We have not had anywhere that he has been banned or stopped from participating politically. What I didn't agree, and I don't, that is his view. I mean, to call anybody who called President Jammeh a donkey, I will tell you why you say it. So I wouldn't also allow anyone to call Adama Barrow a donkey. But that is not me. But this, sometimes you are in the midst of, a political heated debate. You say something and it goes out. But that was the only time I heard him say that.
Yes.
Probably it was anger. And we are human beings. No, honestly, I didn't say he didn't say. I had the audios. But that was a situation where you're somewhere sitting and you want to participate, you want to do something. Something is stopping you and you're angry and you made those kind of comments. That was the only time. Jammeh himself, let me tell you, Jammeh himself hate politics of insult, politics of hate. He had demonstrated that when he was a leader. He goes out with people. Let me tell you, he went out with people. If you do that, he asks you go away. So at this moment, he knew he's not the president. He knew that. By calling Adama Barrow a donkey,
he knew it's wrong.
I should think so. That's why he didn't repeat it.
He never changed his position.
I didn't know.
But he never changed his position about Adama anyway, because his subsequent, toppings, he never even mentioned. Adama recognized. He would compare his government to the one here and said his government was better.
Yeah.
All the time. So his opinion of Adama has not changed.
Let me tell you something. Yeah, of course, yes. Learning. I mean, we will come to that probably.
Yeah.
What has changed? A lot of people have worn a T-shirt. Gambia has decided.
Yes.
Gambia has decided. But I've seen also a lot of T-shirt coming out. Gambia has regretted.
Yeah.
We are human beings. But he can definitely compare his time. He can compare his time with now. But that is not an insult to Adama Barrow.
No, I know.
Actually, if I'm Adama Barrow, there is the kick on the back to say, come on, speed up.
Okay, let's look at this.
Yeah.
Between him and Adama.
Yeah.
Whether for for sincere, whether on account of sincerity or ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Adama has shown some sort of, let's say, respect and recognition.
Yeah.
In his pronouncements, and one time in his action by going to Kanilai. Even his critics criticized him, said, look at him now. You are now abandoning the cause of the people. You are going to Jammeh, the dictator.
Yeah.
Adama went there. Adama met the families of Jammeh, people who are said to be his family.
Yes.
And he told them that he had no personal problems against Jammeh.
Yeah.
That it all has to do with how the government is governed. All what happened is because of administration, not personally. So he had at least shown some sort of decency towards Jammeh. But Jammeh didn't show that. All what Jammeh did.
Why did you say Jammeh didn't show that? That's
But you heard me call me a donkey.
No, but that's the one I'm just trying to clarify. And you're still repeating the same thing.
You mean Jammeh regretted it?
Yeah, no, I didn't say he regretted it. I'm not going to speak for Jammeh. But what I'm telling you, I know Jammeh, and you knew Jammeh. I said it can happen to anybody. In a heated debate, or sometimes when situation forces you, you may say something. And then you never said it again.
Yeah, as Adama also used to have some gaffes.
I don't even want. I'm coming to go there. Yeah, exactly. I will
call them gaffes.
Yes, I'm going to come to that.
Sorry about it. Yes.
I'll come. I'm going to come to that. You know, in a rally, Adam Barrow said, "I will not stand down. I will not step down until this particular person died, and I will go to the funeral." Then,
he said that. So you are saying that was a gaffe that could happen to anybody in the heat.
And when he said it, he never said it again.
Yeah.
There are other things that also he said. He was also in Nyomi. He turned around and looked at his people, supporters, young youths, and told them, you can do what you want. You should act like you are in power. And anything that happened, and the youth started doing something. So now, is that what happened to that?
Yes.
It's even more serious.
Yes, that's more.
But when he said it, he never said it again.
Okay, so you mean that can happen to anybody?
It can happen to anybody. Okay. So, like I said, President Jammeh has got respect for Adama Barrow.
Okay.
And Adama Barrow got respect for President Jammeh.
Okay.
But obviously, we cannot sit down and say, we have to look at situation happening when you told us, frankly, that the development packages or road constructions you've done in the country was far outnumbered what President Jammeh and President Jammeh and Adama he can say, but Jawara did. That is political.
You mean that's not correct?
Well, I mean,
in some ways he built more kilometers of roads were built under his time. That's true.
Well, like I said, until
it's true. You may ask what sort of resources he had.
No. We know this. It's from the taxpayers' money or it's a loan.
But if you can credit Jammeh with the Combo Coastal Roads, the television, the university, and also you have a long list of that. If you can credit Jammeh for that, even though we know some of these sources are from bilateral and multilateral sources, but you could, if you can do that, you could credit Adama for.
I did, and we did.
That's right.
Well, you know what? When Barrow first came to power, I wrote a letter to Adama Barrow, an open letter, to say, I stated in that letter that let Barrow build on the initiative of the APRC and continue to reconcile the country, because APRC did this Jammeh that. APRC did this Jammeh that. It's a prerequisite of a paranoia. And being paranoia of APRC is not the security of the country. They didn't listen at that time. But you want to tell me that the OIC is not an initiative of President Jammeh. The only it was, yes, it is. They continue and we clap for them. No, we said thank you. But the expectation from the OIC was not fulfilled, and this is where the opposition are saying it was only 2 days, and what was spent on it, we didn't get that. But the initiative was APRC government. They completed it, fine. Road construction, they found all these roads there.
Where?
Land, they found all the plants there already laid out.
Just like Jammeh found Jawara's plants on the Combo Coastal Roads.
And completed them.
Yes.
Yeah, the credit will go to both of them. But what I'm trying to say here is, we still have a lot of issues that are pending. And therefore, we as an opposition, we will identify where he has gone right. But we will highlight where he has gone wrong. So that is why, that's why the press and the NPP government are at loggerheads. Because what they want,
the private press,
the private press especially, what they want is for you to be clapping for them and applauding them for all these things that they're doing. But that is not the fun to your concern. I don't want to compare Jammeh and the press and Barrow and the press. Wow, yes.
Oh, I didn't get completely.
Yeah, because I know why you're saying that.
No,
we will not go to that.
No, we will go to that.
I don't agree.
Don't take me. Listen, I don't agree with some of the reactions of Barrow's government.
Yeah.
I don't agree that some of the relations and the sentiments and insinuations that I hear from government officials and sometimes himself, only on Corridor Day he came attacking the press. That's true. He does that.
Was that the only time?
Well, I have seen the frequent insinuations and frequent sentiments anti-press. I've seen that. We've spoken about that.
And where he has come, I don't know whether 20 million or 40 million, where it has been distributed to specific media houses. You still feel that's okay?
We agreed that. We said that was not proper. If they had that agenda, they could have invited tenders for private or public media who has the capacity to be able to do that. We condemn that.
Why even say that?
There were a few attacks on the press. We condemn that. There was not long ago. He wanted to go to court to sue some journalists for saying that he probably wanted to go and anoint Mohammed Jah. They wanted to court. We told them, if you go to court, you will be the loser.
Yeah, they will be the loser.
You will be the loser. But then they said, okay, you cannot go and destabilize our party. Maybe you have been used by politicians to cause disability in our party by, propagating and promoting false narratives so that our people's mind can be mixed. That was their defense. We came and said, look, let sanity prevail. If you go to court, Mr. President, with this, people are going to say, what is the crime of the journalist? Writing that you are going. They said that is everyday occurrence. So you will be the loser. So all those kind of things, yes, we know how they feel about independent press, but you can't compare it to Jammeh, who killed, imprisoned and exiled press.
Did he kill people? Are you sure?
Jammeh's ready.
No, I'm telling you, you are saying Jammeh killed. Did he kill anyone?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
You know they're a Hydra.
They're
the Hydra.
Yeah, I know that.
He was working at the point when you were working at the Observer.
Yeah.
You know that 3 bullets, he was hit by 3 bullets and he died.
Yeah.
On the Jawar.
I don't know.
On the Jammeh's car.
Yeah.
You didn't hear the TRRC confirm who killed him?
Who was that who killed him? According to
Oya said they killed him, they participated. Even Low, who's been in prison in Germany, confirmed that they took part in his assassination.
Yeah.
That was on the Jammeh's side.
Yeah.
And you said that he wasn't killed?
No. Listen to what I said.
On the Jammeh?
No.
On the Jammeh?
No. I was quoting you directly.
Let
me explain.
No, Jammeh's regime killed him.
Exactly. Let me come. No.
So our regime has never killed anybody in the press so far.
In the press?
Yes.
But he has
didn't kill anybody.
But he has killed people in this country.
People died state-sanctioned violence.
Yes.
Where?
Faraba.
Right. Yes. Okay.
Let me finish. Kanilai.
Aruna Jack.
Yeah.
Okay, so you if you take that to be
no, I'm not taking that to be. Let me tell.
If that is Lamin,
wait. Let me.
If that is state sanctioned violence.
Lamin, can you please allow me to come?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Normally I don't want to debate about these human rights violations.
Okay.
Let me explain.
Because it was terrible on the Jammeh.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Okay, fine. That's your opinion. I cannot. But my opinion differs.
Okay.
This is a topic. Normally, when I debate with people, I tend to reserve opinion until when the facts are out.
So you still believe all what has been said are just hearsay?
No, I didn't say all. Most of them have been fabricated.
Such as?
Allow me to come. You specifically pointed out that of Dede Hydra. I want to continue to pray for all those people who lost their lives during the during our regime. APRC regime.
Through state sanction?
No. Lamin, don't put words into my mouth.
Okay, I'm asking.
No, Lamin, I repeat. I've listened to you. If I'm talking, allow me to learn.
Okay, go ahead.
You cannot play with words, or you cannot put words into my mouth.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay.
I mean, this is not because I am agreeing that Jammeh personally executed them. I participated in a political party that elected President Jammeh to rule for 20 years. Some of the incidents that happened during Jammeh's time, some of them were intelligent report that he acted on. And any other person who was sitting in his seat would have probably acted in the same way or differently. This is a very small country. This situation of killing, people came out and sat before lawyers at the TRRC and said, I executed this, I killed this man, I did this. He's still walking scot-free in the street. They said they've got the orders from Lansambujang to Bakar City to President Jammeh. In that, I mean, it's a conspiracy. It's not clear. It's only a court of law that can attest and say whether what they said is true. Some people will say those people were detained at Mile 2 for 3 years, and they've been offered to come and say, Jammeh did this, we are told, so that they can go scot-free. They could have today also been kept somewhere and taken to court to prove their guilt or innocent, but that didn't happen. Let me tell you, let me learn. So it's a process, but the process has been undermined. This is our view, or my view. It could have been done better for us to reach at a stage where the facts are completely there, authenticated, and me, Foday Chorr, will put my hands up and say sorry for the part that I played to put up a government. And equally, somebody else will do the same thing. Jammeh is human. Who knows? Because he will not agree with all that has been said. He didn't get the opportunity to sit there and say, this is what happened. But as a country, one people, one nation, my view on this transition, human rights, is to continue on the process that was started. If the facts were authentic, we should now find out how do we reconcile this.
Very good point.
That reconciliation would then allow people to turn around and say, if we have found one thing, to tell to the Gambian, hands up, we're sorry. Some people even call us and say, Jammeh this, they don't want to say sorry. We want to reach to the conclusion where we can stand up and say sorry. I am one of those advocates and activists saying they should say sorry to us for the slave trade.
Okay.
So
Now,
if you come to Jammeh's case, that's completely different. But the government failed its duty and responsibilities. They should have tabulated all this and treated the matter fairly. And then we can come. But we have said, we have seen Kumbabu Amdei or Kumbabu Amutndei. Some of these people, especially the 5 council members, some of them are walking scot-free in the street. One person is lying there in prison because the person volunteered to come and said, yes, I did this. In the case of Edward Singate. And then you look at in the case of Yankuba Ture, because he said he's not going to speak, and they said we'll throw the books at you, and exactly that's what they do. And he's still there at Mile 2. So these are some of the things that need to be regulated because the system was not there. And secondly, I just want to go off from this because Lamin, I worked with you at the Daily Observer. If anything, I can say one of the nicest people I work with is you. But one day you were picked up from the Daily Observer. They didn't kill you, but something happened to you. But when you came out, you personally told me, that's life I've forgotten. And personally, the people who did that to you, probably they would say, Jammeh asked us to do it.
it's not only that Jammeh asked it. I even myself convinced that Jammeh.
Yeah,
they were
exactly.
doing it on behalf of Jammeh.
Yeah, well, they will say they are doing it on hate.
I was convinced that night they were doing it.
Exactly. So things like that. I mean, you're convinced.
And the fact is, what did Jammeh
Jammeh may come back. Sorry, Jammeh may come around and say, Lavin, that's what you think.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. But if that's what you think, sorry, he might.
Okay, what happened is that after Jammeh knows all about that, what did his, crime is omission and commission.
Yeah.
Like, I who committed, and I who has oversight of you knew that this has been committed, and I omitted, I failed to take action. So all the high-profile murders and suspected deaths that happened under Jammeh, his government has done nothing to investigate or prosecute those who might have done it.
I mean,
so is he not guilty one way or the other?
Again, Lamin, I will not agree with you because this is why I don't want our debate to go on to this. Let me tell you something.
Let's go.
There are some killings that happen. They are not investigated.
On
the President Barrow.
Such as?
I've just mentioned one here. The investigation in Faraba was going halfway.
It was until they went to set up it in compensations for those who've been killed.
No.
They said it
went to a point where he used executive cost on top of it. No, and then forgive other people and others.
As far as I know,
that's what you know. I'm telling you what I know.
Also recommended that certain people, the people who died, should be compensated. Until there was a time somebody was coming to say they have not been compensated. I remember that. But then there was a process which led to the establishment of culpability. On the state. The police were detained, processed, and I think some lost, and the IGP resigned.
I mean, you really
That's some sort of accountability. Yeah. And there was a process.
Why was that not done in the case of
a commission? Until you come to the point. Until a commission recommended or established that these people who died should be eligible for their families some compensation. Yeah. That was the way it has been done. And to be fair, I saw someone who came out and said they have not been compensated. That's true.
Okay. Let's move on. I just want to. Why was Haruna? Because you seem to be their mass.
I didn't know about Haruna. I didn't know whether investigation. I cannot say for that.
I can tell you something. Haruna was. Let me.
There was no investigation on that.
Yeah, he was killed in a protest without any arm. And this is where Demba Jawo said. Demba Jawo came out on the media and said, actually, those people were not shot with live bullet.
Was it Demba Jawo my fact?
Demba Jawo was Minister of Information. He said they were shot with rubber bullet. What my party said was, they shot them because they have traditional weapons. Okay. And there was nothing on record. But then, so people are really interested on what's happened on this. They are interested on Haruna Jammeh. Okay, but let's continue on yours.
All right, now, since you have now that the government, you said some of these things you may have to, it will be proper to wait until they've been proven in a court of law.
Well, it's
okay. Now the government of the Gambia has put in a motion to establish a special tribunal to try Jammeh era crimes. That is the official thing.
Yeah.
Jammeh era crimes. They sought help from ECOWAS, who have agreed to put up a special tribunal. They are seeking funding from all over, 60 million, I think, or more, so that they
billions of dollars. Islam.
4 billion. Recently, my party said 4 billion they wanted. Okay, now that you would have preferred a process that would have established in a court of law whether these allegations are true or not.
Lamin, can I
so you must in that case you must welcome, you must definitely be happy that the government is taking this process to prove it.
Lamin, you're putting words into my mouth. Don't speak for me.
I'm saying whether you are happy with that.
No, let me explain what I
said. Happy now?
No, you quoted me even wrong with that.
No, I'm not saying you quoted. I say you must be happy.
No, I'm not saying that.
If you said
there's something that you said.
I said, let me go over what I said. I said,
I heard you.
If you are interested in waiting until these allegations are proved in a court of law, that's what you said you prefer.
No. Wait, let me explain that point. Okay. That's where you didn't get right. Okay. I'm saying during the process of the TRRC, there are a lot of things, loopholes.
Yes.
Because of that, there's a lot of concerns, doubts.
Yeah.
The authenticity of the report.
Yes.
And one of the things that even the president said it, the person who's given the role as the lead counsel, according to the president, I'll quote him, was doing it because he had interest to become a presidential candidate. And so therefore he's doubting whether he has even done a good job. He was just doing it that is the president's opinion. So Foday Chorr has also got an opinion. I'm saying, if all the process have been followed to a point where we actually realize this is what happened, we'll come back and say, yeah, sorry.
Now that it's been happening,
you understand? But what happened is, we had, what is the T? It's truth. According to them, they found the truth.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
What was the next thing?
Reconciliation.
Reconciliation.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Reparation.
Yeah, reparation.
Reconciliation. Okay.
Yeah.
We couldn't do that.
We couldn't do the reparations.
Why?
Well, the government first said, the former Attorney General said, reparations, they will start reparations with the proceeds of the sale of Jammeh's properties.
Yeah.
That's what he said. At that time, he said 300 million has been budgeted. Nothing has been heard about that anymore now.
Yeah.
Now we see the government and the president saying, well, yes, they are prioritizing reparations very well. They have put in, I think in the last budget, $60 million each.
Yeah.
And more importantly, they said they have set up a reparations commission that is going to look.
I heard about that.
Yeah, that's going to look at all the people who have been identified as victims, whether they testified or not, but they've been victims, and then they come up with a framework of a reparation scheme to ensure that everybody is reparated, has reparations.
Yeah.
And then the order accountability purpose, that is people whose crimes, who have been accused of crimes that are heinous crimes.
You have a threshold.
Heinous crimes.
Yeah.
There will be no amnesty for them. They will be put to trial. And that process is what I'm trying to say the government has put in motion by establishing a special tribunal, and then for ECOWAS, backed by ECOWAS, and of course creating a special crime in the justice ministry. I'm trying to say, for somebody who is saying that these allegations definitely need to be proven comprehensively beyond any reasonable doubt, somebody who is advocating for that probably will be happy that the government has now put in put in something that is going to lead to that. So I'm trying to say, what is your reaction to that?
Now you're talking to Foday Chorr.
Yes, that's right.
What I'm saying, if you listen to me, I'm not running away from your question. I will come to it.
Okay.
What I'm saying, I'm talking in terms of the Gambian context.
Okay.
Issues happened. They are irreversible. But where all this establishment of commission come from, probably you have seen things that happen in the other sub-regions.
Yes, that's right.
They have a process, and they completed a process, and that gave them the opportunity to continue. This is the kind of process I'm talking about, whereby even if we knew this is it, we do it in our own Gambian way. Because some of the atrocities that happen here has not even reached the threshold for the International Criminal Court to investigate. Let me finish. No, even now.
Well, that person have changed.
No. People will change because, in politics we lobby. The present head of the prosecution at the ICC has got contacts with the person who was the head of the prosecution in this, very close. So people can change. Do you understand? What I'm saying is that is what we had. In fact, that question was asked by your humble son to the ICC representative when they came here for a walk. I could fully remember it was you who asked that question. And that was clear. Let me just say, even though if that's not the case, we come together as a nation and try to sort this out. Because it has a big impact in our political dispensation. At the moment, the NPP government couldn't move and do certain things because they've been watched by the opposition, by the press, to see how they're going to conduct this TRRC issue. When the president went to Kanilai, I was very pleased. And people said, oh, he shouldn't have gone there. I said it was even too late. And I thanked him for that. After 2 days, I used to be regular on the social media. I said, the president is not serious about the reconciliation. With due respect to him. Because I thought when he has gone to President Jammeh's family, meet them and discuss, There is another body that is in the corner here crying. That is the people who are called the victims. Go and invite them to the State House or anywhere, or meet them and say, well, we've gone to the ex-president's family. They are Gambians. This is what happened. As a nation, we want to see how to reconcile. This and this and this will be allocated for you. Give them hope. Give them something. Give them, try to dampen their hearts. Because nobody can pay a life. We try and reconcile that. Then he should be able to bring both parties together. Whether it's on behalf of Jammeh or Jammeh is not here. And we say sorry. And then give them money, because we've seen countries like Sierra Leone, what happened there. We've seen countries like Ghana, where 8 magistrate ministers were, assassinated in a coup plot. But they are able to reconcile their past and move forward. And today they are reaping the benefits. But today, anything that MPP or the president Adama Barrow wants to do, he's been watched by a lot of binoculars. The opposition, the media.
So you mean he's been pressurized by international community and maybe the media?
Exactly, because this were the early call of the coalition government, and which he's still leading. He's still leading the head of state. Let me finish. He's still the head of state. If you go to Europe, the European Union are calling for the completion of the TRRC.
Yes.
You go to other people, they are. I mean, you have to be able to manage this situation.
Yes.
Because we need the European Union. They need us. We need our Gambians.
Yes.
He will need the people who are going to vote. So he is in a position whereby he needs the people of the Gambia to help him as a president, how we go through this transition. It's a very difficult transition. And it's a very difficult thing to resolve.
Yeah.
Because anyone who is affected, the family members watching me, who think I have no sympathy or I don't care for them. And that's not the situation.
They're beginning to doubt whether you
exactly.
whether you actually believe.
No. It's not about belief.
The orders of the state.
I mean, it's not about belief.
The way you defend it.
It's not about belief. It's about a process. I'm sitting here speaking. Let me make it. I made it very clear. I'm speaking on my own behalf.
I've asked you about it. Atrocities that committed on the Jammeh.
Lamin.
You are saying
those things are actually I'm going to stop at this point on these things because, like I said, we have burning issues to talk about. That is affecting
the atrocities of Jammeh.
No. It's important. We've talked about it.
Okay.
Like I said, it's a process. It's been done. I'm speaking my own opinion about it. Okay. I said the government should handle it this way. That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to other topics now.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
That'll help us. Because you don't want to. I don't want to walk in the street and people look at me and say, "This is Foday Chorr," who think my brother who was affected or was in the army. People will always say that as long as you're associated with APRC or you support Jammeh, they will always say you condone everything. That one you cannot change. No, what I said, but that is their opinion. Yeah. But when they listen to me, they also respect my opinion. Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's move on to other areas. Now you had perhaps today is an election in
the by-election.
Yeah, in Habdai ward.
Yeah.
Not long ago, there was one in Kiang East ward of Masembe.
Yeah.
In that election, the UDP beat the NPP.
Yeah.
Well, it was said to be a stronghold of UDP anyway.
Yeah.
Now, in Banjul, Habdai, the UDP did not put up a candidate, but they said they are supporting PPP because they are encouraging and promoting a possible relationship. Working relationship between.
It could be a tactical one. Yeah.
Okay, we're waiting the results later this evening to say.
Yeah.
To see what will happen. If what the UDP is saying, or the NPP said they are afraid actually of contesting on their own because they are going to be beaten, so that will spoil their record in Masem.
Yeah.
So they said UDP is running away. But if at all UDP is encouraging that, and then opposition. We hear opposition are talking, everybody is talking for the need for an opposition alliance, just as it happened in 2016.
Yeah.
If your group, the APRC No To Alliance, is approach to join such an alliance, even though it might comprise people you naturally don't work with or don't see eye to eye, but then they said there is no permanent enemies in politics.
Yeah.
Would your group be any willing or even consider going into an alliance with the rest of the opposition?
Yeah, when we say the rest of the opposition, most of the oppositions are just, apart from UDP and PDIS and us, the rebels, all the others.
Unknown entities.
No, I didn't say no again. Don't choose my word for me. I never said.
Okay, I'll import it.
Okay, good. And maybe Sobea now, as Isafal, coming up. I have not seen any serious political opposition contender to MPP because they're all joining
You
eventually.
said
UDP,
APRC No To Alliance?
yes,
PDIS?
and Sobea. That's
What about GDC?
and GDC. And GDC, I forgot about them.
Okay.
For the rest, they will all be swallowed by MPP. So now, if you ask
What are the PAP? The one, the ones from that Tabora Manis?
Tabora Mane, I think I've seen some similarities. I'm not saying they are, I'm just saying, assuming that their philosophies and their way of politics is similar to that of PPP.
Okay.
I'm not going to be surprised to see them marching as doing an
What
alliance.
about Gambia for All? You think they are not serious too?
Gambia for all.
Or they don't have any?
Gambia for all is a fraction of PPP. As far as my
Do you know that
concerned.
PPP itself has changed now?
I knew that the leadership changed.
The
leadership
the
changed.
approach may change.
No. That's the problem with Gambian politics.
Okay.
For Gambia, that's why when I started, I said Gambians are afraid of change. I started with our party. When you move someone, then others are not going to be happy. But a change in politics is not change of personality.
But
Change in politics
PPP has changed.
is bringing about policies, then change people's perception of the ideology of the political party. The ideology and the philosophy of the political party should have an impact on your attitude and behavior towards politics and your country.
And you mean PPP has not changed that?
I am not saying they've gone on that because I don't know. It has to we have to give them a long period of time
To assess.
to assess them.
Good.
But with this present change, we can say yes, there is a change from the old hand to the new generation of PPP.
The question is, will Babel Mansa Group or Not Alliance Group be ready to join any opposition alliance?
One thing I know that it will be very difficult for us to join UDP.
I'm not saying UDP.
I don't know others. I don't know.
I'm saying
I'm
if
talking about
all of them are in opposition.
Yeah.
And your approach and UDP is in that group.
In that group.
Yes. So you mean it will be difficult.
That will be very difficult.
But people said of late that your group is sympathetic to UDP ideas.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Let
Let me tell you, we have no issue with UDP. I'll explain what happened. When we went to the Fonyis, UDP could equally put up a candidate in Bintang, Fonyi Bintang.
In the parliamentary election.
In the parliamentary election. They didn't.
They did not.
They didn't.
Was that in support of yours?
No, I'm not saying, but their members must have voted for Bakari Baji. He won massively. 4,000 plus.
And what you thought that it could only have been that UDP supporters voted for him?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was also could have been seen by UDP as tactical because it's not their strong base. But they don't want.
And their interest is common with yours.
Exactly. At the time.
Which is no NPP.
At that time, yes.
So yeah, that can continue.
So no, wait. I said that happened. Now we're talking about presidential elections. But the problem with UDP, as that is my view about them. They are one political party that came out clearly, and said they will not
work with Jammeh.
with APRC because our hands are stained with blood.
Yes, that was said.
That was said by funding Kinte. Is it? No. Listen.
Almame funding.
Almame funding whatever, Tal. Yeah, Tal. I was very disappointed on that day.
Okay.
Because I think probably at that time when he was talking, he was also upset.
So you mean if they continue to hold that fund, it will be difficult for you to...
Yeah, if they don't want to, they've already said they don't want to join it. So why, they will not approach us.
Okay.
That's one thing. The other thing is, I mean, I think we also want to see a UDP new look, which is completely different from the perception they have about the Gambia. the Gambia.
So you mean if they change, your group might probably
the leadership of the party, and not me.
What do you make of rumors there that this time lawyer Dabo may not contest? You haven't heard that?
I heard people talking about it. I heard people saying they were that Bensouda. It's not my business. It's their political party's business. But what I'm saying is...
No, but they are looking for public space and we have a right to talk about it.
Yeah, what I'm saying is people, it's people's view. What I'm saying.
People who belong to political parties often say, no, I'm not going to talk about
No, I want...
Because you don't want people to talk about your party.
No, I'll talk about... No. I do talk about UDP. I've just said something about them now.
Okay. So
what I'm saying is,
that?
when it comes to selecting their leadership, that is left to their...
I'm not say you have any role there, but what do you think?
Exactly. My opinion is this. I still think, despite he is 80, how many years is now?
70 something.
70 something.
Yeah.
He still got the legal rights. He still got the political rights. He still got the health to contest elections. If the people of the UDP membership wants him to contest, we're talking about leaders in Europe who are 92, 80 something. Why can't we have leaders in Africa who can be 72? This is what I cannot understand. It's not about age. Most of the people they talk about, then book a young person, don't left them more funding because they have seen what's happening in Senegal. It's a different narrative.
What is different?
The different narrative is
a young, capable, competent person to come who have more years and more ideas.
Do you want to say capability and agility and so on is in age?
No. Certainly infirmity and of course strength is more present in the youth.
What are we looking? What do we expect from a sitting president?
We expect, of course.
What do we expect from a sitting president?
Whatever you do, you would like to definitely achieve or do it when you are young. So absolutely, young ideas, injection of young blood into politics and leadership, you cannot say it's not good. It's happening in Burkina Faso when people are president. In Senegal, the young boys are winning president all over the world.
This is the problem.
It become inspired. Why are we in the Gambia? Can't we aspire to have young people in the leadership?
This is the problem with us here in the Gambia.
Why do you say
we want to eliminate people by age?
No.
No. We're talking about capacity. I'm not like this is what I said. I'm not going to speak for them. It is the UDP to choose who they want to. But I felt that Honorable Senu has got the same quality, the same capacity, the same health to lead a country like anybody who is 25 years old. It's up to their party to choose who they want to. If they have a young person, it is up to them. If they have an old one, what they will say is luck is not on his side because he contested for 4 years, four times, and he didn't win. So when they are the political party that are advocating for term, he should now look at himself. That's a personal decision to say, look, I've contested 4 times and luck was not on my side. Can we allow someone to go?
So now,
but if he wants to go on, it is not prescribed in their constitution that he should step down after 4 times. Just like people are saying, Adam Barrow should not contest for the 3rd term.
No, it's
not prescribed in the 1997 constitution.
That's right.
And if the political party want to return him, he should. But what we as the opposition want,
we are coming there. Don't preempt that. When you talk about UDP, comparing with Dabo, with Barrow, they would say, okay, with Barrow we are talking about the state. We are not talking about the party. So, meaning, of course, he can. Dabo, you cannot use the same yardstick of Dabo because he was not given the government. So you cannot ask about terms. But you are saying, morally, if you are talking about term limit in some other areas, you should also look within.
That's what I think.
You're taking.
That's what I think.
Okay, now let's talk about, even if this matter is even in Doi, these days I see that even in Doi, people are saying Khalifa had made it known that he is not going to make himself available.
I read it.
He said it
I read
before.
the statement,
Now people are suggesting that he probably is about to change. Only a few days ago, he had an interview with QTV, and he said 2 possibilities can happen. One, he comes back because people want that, or he picks somebody that people would he expect people to support since they were on him. So he's trying to say that because people are saying he should not leave, he will either come or he will definitely back somebody who will come. So what do you make of that?
No, what what I saw and what I read, he made it absolutely clear.
Yeah.
Clear. Whether that is what was said or not, but I read it on the social media, that he has asked the Gambians to give him the chance.
Yeah.
32,000 people voted for him.
Yeah.
And that speaks in volume.
Yeah.
That means out of 900,000 registered voters, only 32,000 want him to be a president.
That is clear.
That is clear that the majority don't want him. Look at the language he's speaking.
I'm saying after that.
Yeah, let me wait.
Only 2 days ago.
Yeah, only 2 days ago. I'm saying
on TV.
Yeah,
he said two things can happen.
Yeah,
Either again on popular demand he comes back.
Yeah.
Or he backs somebody who will come back. So this is the latest.
Yeah, okay. That is what you heard. I'm telling you what I read.
Yeah, I'm telling you what you read after that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, like I said, he's saying but I also want to say what I saw so that people
I understand perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
I understand.
And that he said because of that,
yeah,
he decided to take a back seat.
Yeah.
He said what can happen is to have somebody
exactly
who believes
in his resonates with him.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Then he will ask people to support that person.
Yes. That was a few days ago,
Yeah.
a week or so.
Yeah.
But 3 days ago, he said on television that two things may happen.
Yeah.
He will come back,
Yeah.
or maybe
Yeah.
somebody backed by him whose thoughts resonates with his may come. So these are the two positions.
Again, I will say the same thing. We're talking about longevity. We're talking about terms. We're talking about 2 terms, 3 terms. We're talking about just live. It's up to their party to make a decision over that. But he made a very important point here. If he wants to come back, why not? If the Gambian people want to vote him, if we think he can get more than 400,000 votes to become president, then he can change his mind. Okay. But in your own mind, do you think they will be able to get 400,000 votes?
Well, you never know. You never know.
Lamin, you are trying to put words into pretty small, but I want
you
to tell
never know whether he will.
Lamin, from 32,000 to 400,000 votes, what has PDO has done now?
You never know. There are people from zero vote who never even tested, and they come and
that's true.
Barrow never tested. He came and won again because of the coalition.
That was not Adama Barrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could also be Halifa Saleh backed by some moderate opposition. That's possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's move now to Barrow.
Yeah.
Barrow said not long ago that he had considered not contesting for the 3rd term.
Yeah.
But because his party had really determined that if he goes, that will not be helpful for the party, and he doesn't want his party to die as others. He cited when people leave power, their party die.
Yeah.
People were disappointed.
Yeah.
You see, the president is talking about his party. He's not talking about the country. So we feel disappointed that if he had said, okay, I have embarked on some good works, and I would have loved to complete that in the interest of the nation. People said that argument would have at least been, at least that's palatable than, I'm thinking of my party will die. The people were disappointed with him. Of course, there is this general disappointment that, in fact, in principle, the Organization of West African States and many other, organizations advocating for good governance have, had it in principle that the best way out of crisis in our region is for every nation to respect 2-term limit, as is the case in Nigeria, in Ghana, and they cited good examples that they think actually help in preventing political crisis and contributing to the establishment of democratic, stability in countries. Whether or not your constitution has it or not, they are encouraging and promoting leadership, quality leadership from individuals who become leaders. So that kind of school of thought are disappointed with Adama by saying that he's going for the 3rd term. What do you make, whether or not the constitution said it not, in your perspective and that of your party? What do you think of Barrow's pronounced intention to go for that? In the interest of the country, if you think.
Lamin, this is very important.
Yeah.
Let me say this clearly in Mandinka.
Yeah.
Because na angale ka umambetea. Because what I want is, I want the people to hear, especially many opportunity to speak English. Because what we're saying, we're not talking. Na biggest problem B. A bill introduced at the National Assembly, an act of parliament, debate in Mandinka and Wolof.
Local language introduce school also. Suruakan walita Senegal suruakan bari wole akole bari lafta min fola wala mbina la wotole bari kanyi min foteti Lamin is very important yi ni karo min fo barole kono atem be jilale andum aya fodame our code ay imam so le commandant and council of elders at the state house addressing them ako ate paretale ay foundation o lole do kulal bijele yela doku kumasale ati bina jilale adi modolata. What is ntolla president I have nothing against him because ala ya tel tombonka kejedo but mafo ala le jitana carte fayde ntolla believe le hakil ala ya hakilo dum molle kono pour carte fayde but mafo ko ala ya jindina santo adina ko tumo UDP ka fonu nyamin ko it's a God send ko alaman tankala Gambia jawaran tangal bari nyindo ka fole ko atemu Moses of UDP led ko atele nata pour que tol bondi par bi ni o ko bu ko son par at that time ko tol ka fonu wato min falenta ay fit leno so ala ko do nya ni ko fanal ka fale hanin adama di mo nyama anam ke police okay so sai adama kabringa rofo nkawo fo mule wati adama one problem inyanta makola wolam anyanta ka coachless pronabi diamoke sultu subject matter la ka discuss behind scene president will be jamaba ka okele o manke ko we are weak ni ofo ka titile mol commandi president on ite mi ngomi on those platform they are official man fo mol ko lonjel so nim ay ofo drong naba ala mind change la amanke is also not illegal. But as a reason forward, it will be a reason that people can take off. It's in the interest of the country, but not in his interest and the interest of his party. Now, okay, it becomes very individualistic. And that's not the only place I'm in for. Nalla mo President Adama Barrow interview slale. If kabringa sikudo. Ko atemu businessman, he just came to hold the fort. In coalition utambita debita back at our business okay. But I will change it. That is not because the Gambian people wanted it. Ni nata ko Gambian bail after all. Many protests for more baramata je for keta that would not have happened. Do you understand? But all the same, niaja sembo warta. The opposition mini protest ke. Wolle ko fempe Adama Barrow ma. Iko 3 years ibe sambala kijol. So as well at it 5 years so labang. Kabring aya bang. UDP ani wolle farata UDP le NPP law inata sembo le bebul state control wole bebul ye patiol dol like am foy futada dame nate ko koteke amanta jila because dalilo momenti pour ala patio kana fa den woto kule keta koma kamin sare because nala patio sita je fala patio lokuta nate hand over moya misali fe ite be kono adila awtate ku ket atele miro momenti wala wote kisikisela o mo feneti mi yalanko ay sono me kisi kaso samana banku dingo kanne ye jikomi sotot ay talale because atele ka fo nyam nim dalilo latinna akoliyatante bulu mon president Adama Barrow kon atata sibanorle ako president Jammeh senanole on his own accord is a citizen and but he's going to be an ordinary citizen who threatened him, who changed his mind and Amaria openly who did
the first Justice Minister Nyari Bartembedu on the day of the legal year on the platform itala boss ko nyine bekela ako make no mistake anybody who said that when Jammeh come here he will not be prosecuted, he's going to walk scot-free It's not true. Tonyante. It'll post you for it. Serious. Adama Barrow did not do anything. One let it. Do you understand? So things like that. But your question on relate to ala longevity and in president in Africa. Me yatina e bukala fika 2 times for ka traje for. When we told for difficulty and in mania. What they did during the time it will be searing. They look back and think, because people are going to watch. So you traje continuously for a faje. But let me tell you, well, could be. I don't know. I'm not gonna say, but could be. Yeah. Okay, fine. Let me pull it over. Understand what area wala tinna mul son mu kis kaso soto Adama Barrow because kumole ka fo sign ay falen and wo falen dro ka mul silandele but niya jube bi bankola state be nyami ntela miro la wotide a nyantale pour Adama Barrow mo jube tala mul ko nay ji wo bate mako la bakele afon la personal legacy anin bankola record ana bankola legacy because atele ka nim foko nim ayatara ko e konsi loi dada ibe loi follow min kala je wolum 2 times and renew 2 times keje ite danna olle ka keje ko ya keje 2 times they're going to seal it so that modo min binata bondi non exactly. So nitel of 2 times and klantela miroto you should set the ball rolling itele follow nyanta ka scale but the binding according be contest lale in the other context Luama Bali Purka contest as a presidential candidate. Obijele. So I'm coming for a total political belief level, another political content and circumstances me are so around, Kajube for a nyantale Purkalo. Bari, Ntolmanyana Kelela wala lani. Miat nango polo. Moleka kartefai, jinol buka kartefai. Hamia tarako IEC, ikatikichaka kulki nyonya. Moleka kartefai.
Abayalong.
Hanim batude, mbatu. Lami nyamba
Ada mole dulu. Sai. Ada kabelo la sinyata woro wala.
Yeah.
Nimmolu man la fala tambela.
Ata tambela, this is what I'm saying.
Yo bar sai.
Yeah.
Anyinyata le comme bankole ya Kenya fama nyinya. Kaje ko. Loi fangote sonna mari. Yale quand même faut eko alamna sira bamba. Eko bamba nyadi. Bamba dasito. Bani manta bato siraha. Ya mule koy wala koyta. So sai ke luana rimeya tinda. Mote na la semboso la kote ke kalo kote comme America be nyama be Nigeria be Ghana Senegal fana be nya. So iko mafo falla loi la fo fa balla loi to yalla ngoy loi fa wati ela ke balé mul batani ni loi bel
image ya mbakri yal batan ni jamme no lami ni al batan lami ni al batan lami yentele jamme arabo biata fola ko loi mam lami jamme mo lami akomuto ko lami ko ni al batan lami hanim batu ndebe mo li represent ite kantele nyini ngala nimbe kacha ite kantele nyini ngala nimbe kacha ngala nimbe nyini ngala kan da ntamanta kale ko may fati ya kenya mi hari ko nimbe ndebe fulu hulela ngata ntamanta sebe ntamanta kala may fati ka wala stop otherwise I'm going to I want to terminate this thing. No, I'm not going to. I repeat, I will continue to tell you that. I will continue to tell you that. Go. Nkaminfo nanim banko kan will still be stagnant because journalists kundalongo safer lalom satar lalom bang politician lomba
historian
mina minfo nkafo Jammeh. Now think war is not good. Why can't we change? ni wo change bina abukata no alka ko jamme woto non tol man pare pour kata ndol na sije ngawle po wiya sin jamme APRC jamme APRC Fabakary jamme mbe continue la nyine fola andun titala. Let us build on the initiative na jube mun okay. I continue, I repeat. Nko Adama Barrow luwa tije min sa balala. Bari Gambian wolu fully power to put Adama Barrow bondije. Bari fenne be Gambian wala min yalon ko le follow be falin na follow. Once kuke no. Wolon daji ko ni manya towards the country and towards our political processes.
Okay.
Min keta wolon. Min aya 34 Chorr bimbe damin. Mfundi data. Ntata futa slogan. Nganna moto push amantano apanta. MPP sembe barama interaje warang momin ka MPP support ay fango sotonte assemble soton akonya nyim moto lande ngam fo 4x4 dila ay odinna ay not poso kono fandi nte kam min borin dunia be kono pour nat balu e sonia pempen na balu sonia ta ika jikki de la ko la lakra be sonia la mo jelle be resist la very few people so they will continue but niata mo saje ko hani ndol ka namo ni nyatan ko min jo man sakunda wonamo le kamurun kan silol doku adam boro na kodonte wonamo le kan doku lal jo adam boro na kodonte wonamo le ka polisol jo adam boro na kodonte wonamo le ka sojarol jo adam boro na kodonte woton tolbe adela le konte fentala mimbat na lambita ka carte fay rongli bari boto ko carte fay aussi akabala fa ka wara puriyaji koy kalero chika anin sun kalang yadi musol ye bulo ko si foy ka birimintim bankor inina ko dani wo carte fay wato be sila wo musol mimbe siri num manokan ika walla wapri fengol le bus ke bondi je ka karambul jo wolle to wo musol ika wolle la bulol tay in salaji momi ya ice wapo fay bulo ye wolle la bulo boy and wo musol la dinol wolle kata school to boldo to bar nem wato site be kalero le dile woto Gambiano lamin min dimintale woto Gambiano daji ko man falin politiko kono maybe Adama Barrow blame la wala ba because in politics people lobby there's one thing it's a weapon to lobby but lamin to la democratization process kabin to APRC nata in power the first thing we did to put up the institution mini along ko leka democracy la process samba democracy mbade democracy mo ideology is a vision it's abstract. You don't hold it. You don't see it. When Gambian people are there, they don't even have food to put on their plate.
Okay.
You come back to wrong, but the question of incoming forum, you know, quoting me and Batandi. Now, for Altul Kibar Janjanalu, Altul Saparlalu, Aliajan told politician or Kaminke, Ali will live for more than many along Kobe. But BBB, Ninsit and India, the Janim Babano, Janavi Dialato, Alconovi Falatep, Alcobari Jammeh in the Bayala. You have to continue. You can continue.
Carte file sutial ya kalero nas ya tantang kosi sa ndake nyininga tijumale tantang kosi jam min sa da APRC
exactly ko po la
so mbele bit al
lamin ko Gambia la politiko
wala
amul tantang koso fo mo mbayde tantang nyanta ka continue ka kosi
anu ma nyala kosi la
yalla
ko kamil foy ko tantang momeng nata bampola ko man o man na ka tantang ko si
barenko yalla ngana kuklin foy wala no doybe dami han sabije let me tell you doybe na wate atalam fana be politiko kon Halifa Sallah was a member of Moja. I was a member of Moja ndolla ke ballo mi kono probably cool dol bi jente o fal yalla ngam ko so bale wala no wonte
okay
mi yatina ni politiko la miro anin fero ka bo hadama dingole bala amambo amanke alquranoti amanke hadisoti wo hadama dingo min ko miro bonde anin fero amantimma anda fero min bondi te timmala because mi ya sabolam they dealing with people and what won nyanta ka change it will now follow a miro minje wolom tantan ko site kel doy bu katanu wandi sate to ya alkalo fan ikanale konton ya ko inata yella last speaker sol dengue ta yakta no ya company nobody no use for mbatu don't go I know ha mbatu de ikawleke they should have intela miro inculcated a little bit of our culture way of life kayai company soto ka chairman soto ka fon isaje nitol bota jeto mol si toli din ko min sing mol kana sare ba ite na te mol tara mol side ka imba ika mino do funti ndi political kon what a majority of Gambians they don't go to school ika min safenu ndola kombo tuba banko damale ka karam ni da do adulto be pare ye do interpret nyami carte failale wolon hani de alkana carte fainine because minu inin miro ni fero minat wona ni man sakundata motante fenti surtout comme ni fuda ha ngale ko
bibi pinko
wala at that time it was
APRC ko le muneke
ntol mbatu ngale ko
kalaro na le muneke
kabrin tol nata ngam fo the same method ngawle
aliye tol muta
jama
aliye sorom fo
hani ngontol fo penkara because it
aliye muta aliye sorom fo
tole miro ni samana mbatu miro ni samana at that time ya hal APRC jele ning PDOS APRC APRC mon PDOS ko soronde
jumale tan
APRC
wala mbi
that is Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council. With the same thing. That got Lamin, you are schooled. Lamin, you know what I'm saying. APRC and APRC monkey killing.
The military junta.
They are not the same.
So listen.
The junta and the APRC and Lamin, when was APRC founded?
Listen carefully.
When was APRC founded?
Listen. You want to ask me?
I'm thinking Gale.
I know what
it
is the military junta.
Yeah.
Even the names said it all.
No.
Elaborate. It's the military junta.
I am very disappointed.
No,
I'm very disappointed.
I'm telling you, it's only the name change. I'm telling you.
No.
Hey, why was APRC? Do you know why APRC came? Do you know what AFPRC? It came from that. They want to maintain the recent letters in the junta's name. So that you can help them politically.
Lami, what is your name?
That's what I'm trying to say.
It only.
AFPR is Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council. When they formed the party, they changed it in Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction. They maintained the AP so that it will definitely rhyme with the APRC. But the Jammeh people came with the same military philosophy and put on a civilian court. You know, to put on a democratic court and to practice is different. Jammeh put on a democratic court and exercised tyranny. I'm afraid you are among the few in the country who still believe that Jammeh's regime was not tyrannical.
No, Lamin. You can push them, don't label me.
Let's move on. Finally.
I want you to agree that there is a difference between AFPRC and APRC.
I'm trying to tell you that the only difference was...
but there's difference.
Listen.
Thank you very much.
Hardly no difference.
You said there's a difference.
The difference is the date and time and the method. The date and time. In July 94, they took up arms and brought down a civilian government.
That's a coup d'etat.
In September 96, they changed their names.
Thank you very much.
They changed the names.
It's changed.
They changed the name.
They didn't maintain the name.
The system remains. The philosophy remains. The philosophy remains. Even the name change, they are reluctant to even change completely. That's why they maintain the R and the P.
Do you know it's 2 o'clock now? I didn't even go.
What did I can say? This is the most enjoyable I ever had. But we have to end here.
Yes, thank you.
Do you definitely have any final message? I give it to them without interruption, without question.
Please.
It has to be short.
Please.
It has to be short. 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me listen for the Gambian soul.
Yes.
Gambian always is our country. Until it is found and processed. Our most important resources that we have is the human resources. And we need to build the capacity of the human resources in order to be able to move as a nation. We have an issue here. Education, especially into the present day education, need to be relevant to the needs of the Gambian people. One thing. My other issue we have is there is a lot of competition in the political sphere. But the competition should be tailored some point so that they meet for the benefit of the citizens. Recently, I've looked at the central government. The central government is our government.
Yes.
The local government is our local government.
Absolutely.
But today there are issues. It's affecting the people directly. The local government is trying to, the central government is trying to suppress the local government so that in a service delivery will not be seen as efficient and sufficient, because it is led by an opposition. Me alone could be a government in waiting. You never know who's going to come in. Why? Because the central government does not want that political party to take their place. The local government are sabotaging anything that the central government is doing. Now, who is affected? There is a saying that when two lions fight in the bush, elephants,
Yes.
who suffers?
The grass.
And we are the grass suffering. We are in the need of a commission also. You see what's happening. Now the fight is not even, they are not concentrating on what to give to the people, but fighting for relevance.
Right.
Corruption will mean the local government. MPP ka expose. Corruption will mean the central government. UDP la mole ka expose. The recent thing, naming for mineral mafo, $3.6 million to pay per diems to escort to President Obama kata treatment la in Senegal. We all knew people receive per diem. Tomorrow in a per diem complaint. Even those who were in the government, President Jammeh Jamano, President Barrow Jamano, UDP Nkolu, they are receiving per diem. In the name of no. And it has never been exposed. Nindole per diem also, it got 3.6. Was sound big because political from Korea are. But to my biggest disappointment, where the president, the minister said, President Obama, Senegal le ajara. That is definitely something that we need to clarify. In relationship with Senegal and Gambia, we took President Obama jar, then told our sovereignty is compromised. So to the Gambians, what I'm saying, we should know that Gambia belongs to us. The security state of this country is another thing where we didn't even go into, and 2 hours already. But I would want to come back here.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank you for inviting me. Hopefully you come back here. I enjoyed it. You know why? If you don't stop Jammeh, Allah journalists will come with Tala Black. This is what you are. No, he is the most popular politician in the whole of Gambia.
Yeah, I know he remains still relevant.
Very.
Yes.
Being kata bengola, amanta advertisement. But in kata furole in Islamic.
No to Alliance. Ale furo loy. Muro.
Yeah. Nimol ka wapu $10, $20, $13. Ntol ba wapu $10. Nimol ka wapu. Yeah, definitely.
That's the Jammeh philosophy.
Eat what you grow and grow what you eat. Back to the land.
Thank you very much. Well, this has been the brunch. My thanks to brother Foday Chorr. Okay, I must take the opportunity to greet your family also in England and in Lamech.
Definitely.
Thank you very much for being on the brunch.
Thank you very much.
This has been the brunch. We will be back next week with more brunch. Goodbye for now.
Islamic microfinance is becoming an increasingly popular mechanism for poverty alleviation, especially for developing countries around the world. This microfinance service adheres to the principles of Islam as a form of social responsibility. Yona Islamic Microfinance is the Islamic microfinance of choice in the Gambia, trustworthy and reliable. At Yona Islamic Microfinance, we provide savings products, current accounts, financing products in conformity with Islam. In addition, Yona Islamic Microfinance also offers local and international remittances, takaful fund, management of zakat, management of awqaf, trading and investment, and building of strategic partnerships to bring financial services to the doorstep of the poor with donor projects, madrasas, youth organizations, women groups, and farmer organizations. Make a choice with Yona Islamic Microfinance today. For more information on Yona Islamic Microfinance, call 377-2151 or 9832-151 or visit Yona head office at Tipa Garage, Bakote, or visit any Yona branch located countrywide near you.
Jammeh Money Transfer Bureau de Change, your go-to option when it comes to money transfer. With Jammeh, you can send money from anywhere in the world to your family and loved ones in the Gambia and be sure the funds will be delivered to them within the shortest time possible. For your convenience, funds sent through Jammeh Money Transfer can be picked from all the banks and multiple other financial institutions, including Ajib Bank, Trust Bank, GT Bank, Mega Bank, Basic Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and Approved Services. Visit our head office at Bruceby opposite AfricMed next to Trust Bank Limited or email us at info@jammehmt.com. You can as well call us on 310-3050 or 310-3051 or yet still 733-0688. Our opening hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday and 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. Jammeh Money Transfer, your most trusted money transfer service where customer satisfaction is paramount. When you think of a simple, fast, and reliable money transfer, think Jammeh Money Transfer.
I get it.
Mbijan aganya.
Albaka.
Mbaka important.
Yo, nga transfer la sto.
Ya transfer la.
Ha, code nyingi.
Okay. What's that? Nsila ID soto.
That's what. Sorry. I get it.
Mbijan bro.
Albaka.
Mbaka.
Bara Allah service o tariaka.
Mbale.
Mo ki janna nun kunu bara tariaka.
Jannom yona forest de bureau. Gambia tonkon na no mbali ya bere. Birim koyna fo kato.
Bari si kodo kino kato nim fo bolong blabe to.
56 branches mola soto Gambia jam.
Ha?
Gambia kono anin Gambia bantala bankol. Nka kodo kiya bere to. Kodo sifa fo falindiro fo nyaadi lafta memmen na kodi to poto nin kodi maraw. Jannom number 1 ti nyonta. Andum fana nata anoda enterprise sotale. Golam nyindi ko domorol fana kol fana be firale le dadi ma nin domorol ni fana beteata. Gambia dawda yalo ngam fa kendol sotale je.
Wo moyo diat.
Apelenta
Ni wo ka ni na lafta nyelen kendo le bina.
Yalo bukani la ko la baraka ba.
Yalo ndel chosano lo.
Abaraka.